Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I've just come back from 2 weeks away. I was in TwitchCon for the first week in Vegas with the HH Gaming crew and the Fateless guys. Hopefully you got to see the live shard pour I did out there. It was actually insanely fun. And then I went to Crete last week with the Fateless guys to see Magic Media. So basically doing a bit of a catch-up video here. I've missed a ton, but there's also, I've been noticing a lot of noise, yeah, about the fusion that's currently going on, about the Amazon Prime drops that are happening, about some of the events that are already running for the fusion. So I guess, look, it's too late to say, is this fusion really easy or not? But I can give you my thoughts. You could probably just about play catch up if you were still a little bit undecided. But yeah, what I've been noticing going through some of the kind of like content creator posts, certainly for their videos, we've got Odd One Gaming. I was so wrong about Timit. We've got Nub Raids, not trash about Timit. We've got, I think I saw Scratch as well. People were wrong. So there's definitely some sort of sentiment here that Timit was better than originally thought. And I think when I first looked at his kit, I thought it was on the verge of average rather than great. But yeah, definitely worth it. If you've not already checked out those videos, I would suggest you go and check out some of those if you're a bit undecided. I've not had any time to test this guy yet, so I can't really advise anything more than I originally did around his kit. Feels okay. I'd say if there was one thing I wish they would have changed on his kit, I wish that the extra turn mechanic, so it gets, if there's no enemies with active buffs, gets an extra turn. I feel like the extra turn mechanic should have been here, because when he increases his own accuracy, he's then got the ability to strip a load of buffs. Yeah, I'm buffing myself to then do my main ability. That makes sense. But to get the extra turn after you've already tried to do this, to then buff accuracy, doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, that would be the one change I would make to, I think, dramatically change how effective he is. But from what I'm seeing, he hits hard, or harder than we thought he would. And yeah, people are giving him quite a lot of credit. So I guess go and check out some of those videos. But I did want to call out some stuff around the activities so far. So yeah, I guess before we get into the extra events and stuff, let's just roll today's sponsor. So I'd like to thank Watcher of Realms for sponsoring this video. As you know, I've got a separate channel for Watcher of Realms, which I will pin down below. So Watcher of Realms, they're doing some really cool stuff for Halloween right now. We've got the new event, Shadow in the Castle. Basically going to be, and this is what I actually love about Watcher of Realms. They do really good themed events. So you're going to be able to earn yourself some cool rewards, as well as 2 new heroes that have come in specifically for Halloween. But Shadow in the Castle here basically got a shadow challenge. So you're going to be taking on, I guess, different challenges to earn yourself some nice spooky treats. We've got a new campaign stage, which is going to be Halloween themed as well. And then basically it's going to be like a hunt for certain types of enemies to be able to earn yourself some rewards. In terms of the shop, there's going to be some of the good stuff. So some of the summons, you'll be able to earn yourself a nice new border, that type of stuff. But there's going to be 2 new heroes that are coming in. They're actually coming in this week as well on their 10-time summons. We've got Kriya and Kaniza. So let's have a look at these 2 heroes, see what's going down. We'll start with Kaniza here. So high dodge rate and burst damage, right? So it's a fighter from the Nightmare faction. I've got to say on my account, I've got a lot of Nightmare faction heroes. It's a really cool faction. The Lord bonuses are super good, and you get one of the Lords free, which is Wrath, right at the start. So you will get that bonus unlocked really quick. So we've got a fighter here, burst damage, got the ability to dodge. Let's have a look at the ultimate ability. So consumes all Kai. So what's going on? She gets a basic stack of Kai for each A1, also a chance to dodge. And then she consumes that, dealing extra damage over time. So all enemies in range, damn. That's actually cool. So an AoE hit for a fighter is pretty rare in Watcher. Pretty sweet. Let's take a look at the other hero that's come in as well. So Kriya, Mother of Crows, summoner with continuous damage. So we've got a mage for the Cultist faction here. She's got a summon mechanic. Okay, nice. So a talent here, within 10 seconds, every 3 enemies killed in the basic attack range summons 1 Stormcrow. The hero and Stormcrow deal additional damage. And the ultimate on this one strikes enemies within range, doing lightning damage 3 times, basically doing AoE damage. That actually looks sweet. Up to 10 enemies as well. So feels like we got 2 really cool new heroes coming on board, as well as a really cool set of events. As of this week, Watcher of Realms are also implementing Guild Wars, which means you get to set your guild against another guild and try and fight your way to the top. And you'll be collecting demon soldiers to go and fight other enemy guilds
Really cool game mode. Every 2 weeks you get to fight another guild, and it just adds a lot of variety to the content that's already in Watcher of Realms.
So yeah, make sure, as I said, go down to the pinned comment, download using my link. It helps me out as well. And go and sub to my other channel. It's great content. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, so let's just take a look at the kind of fragment event that's going on right now. I'm a bit late coming in, obviously, on the Sunday here. So you've probably already made a decision as to whether you're doing it or not. But it doesn't mean it's too late to get involved if you haven't. You only would have missed one event. And you probably would have done this one anyway because it's just an easy pickup. So you've got only 2 dungeon divers, which is like, thank the Lord, because they've been absolutely sucking recently, these dungeon diver events. This first one's long, so we'll check the point scoring for this in a second. Summon Rush right now with a champion chase, so that's normal. A couple of champion training events, which are generally quite easy to do once you know the trick. Artifact events as well. 3 of them, it's just a silver check. So generally, it doesn't feel too bad. You've got the champion training, diving, or dipping into the dungeon divers alongside Spider and Dragon. So some good value there. And then the second dungeon divers goes with Fire Knight and a bit of champion training. So the second dungeon divers doesn't have as many kind of synergies, I guess. But overall, feels a relatively fair setup. Well, we got 110 available fragments without the extras. And each of the summoning events are 15. So you would have to pick up at least 5 points on one and then maximum on the other. Let's check out this Summon Rush and see where the point scoring is. 3k for max points. It's probably about in line with where they've been recently, honestly. 3k, it's not the worst I've ever seen. It's not the best I've ever seen. If you could do this and just need 5 fragments from the champion chase, I think that would actually be pretty solid if you were going for it. I don't like that they've put these Halloween points in here. Like, they've put them in at quite key points. Like, this would normally be over a legendary book or another 5-star chicken. Like, come on. And then we've got Dungeon Divers here. Dungeon Divers still extremely high. I know this is a long one. 4,800 is a lot. 6,500 for 100 Halloween points. Are they having a laugh? That is actually a joke. I guess the other stuff probably comes in around the normal levels. 5,600, 4,775 for artifacts. Yeah, it's probably about where it normally is. So I guess, look, if you're in the mix, then you already know it. But at the same time as the Timid stuff, they are running this kind of like summoning event. You've probably already pulled your shards if you were going to, but I was just going to call out, it's basically like a Revivers. Yeah, a bunch of Revivers. Some of them extremely good. Ugo in the mix, extremely good. Salah, very good. Both the normal legendaries, extremely good. I just wanted to touch on here, Bellatar Mage Slayer. So I did a video calling out the 9 new champions whilst I was in Crete before I fell sick. And I've got to say, by the way, I was like absolutely wiped out for 3 days. And I'm only like, I'd say I'm about 50% back. Like, I think it was COVID and I was like just in a bed with fever. It was horrendous. So I managed to get that video done before I fell sick. But this dude, there was a couple of things I wasn't sure about, which have been clarified since. I think he might now be basically the best reviver in the game. Certainly very unique. I wasn't able to see everyone's skins properly when I was doing it on my phone. Damn, this guy looks cool as well. Look at that. That staff. So yeah, he's got an A1 here. 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill of an ally with highest turn meter. Pretty cool. Goes to 50%. Very cool A1. A2 is a buff a bit like, well, increased attack and defense. So it's going to buff damage for any champion for something like Live Arena. Yeah, also a big heal based on his HP, and he's an HP-based champion. And then you've got a full revive, 50% HP and turn meter, and a nice shield based on his HP. Very nice 4-turn cooldown revive. But this is the bit that's crazy. He's got a passive here, books up to 70% chance of decreasing all of an ally's skill cooldowns by 1 turn. What I didn't know about this is whether it only counted for one ally or it procced on everybody he revives. And it's everyone he revives. So that makes this skill absolutely insane. It's basically like Godseeker's Revive, but it's possible to proc on everyone he picks up. All of their skills get reduced. It's actually insane. So you can imagine how much of a swing this is in Live Arena if you've got this guy picking people up. So yeah, very, very cool reviver. Probably up there as, you know, the only thing that people might argue Duchess still wins on is the fact that she's got that damage mitigation. Otherwise, I think the kit is just better than Duchess. Like, that's my opinion. Interested to know what you think on that, by the way, or what you've heard other people think on that. But definitely a cool new champion in the mix. Okay, last thing I wanted to touch on then was the Amazon Prime drops. So Raid do this from time to time. I actually think this is a good collaboration for Raid. It brings new players in. Players get some decent rewards and stuff. I'll run through what these are. And look, I don't know how accessible this is to you, but you might know someone that's got Amazon. You can literally go and get their account stuff and just log it in. And I think some of these are pretty worth picking up, especially when we get towards the end. But Buren Geary, the champion, is the first one that's available right now. His main role, I guess, is to help you if you cannot beat Bommel. Yeah, there's now a number of champions that can do this, so he's not as unique as he used to be, but he does give you this heal ability whenever the bombs explode, which means that he's able to solo Bommel quite comfortably up to around hard 50. After that, it gets more difficult. Outside of Bommel, he's got an AoE stun. He's got some nice team support. And yeah, I mean, he's good for like stuff like Faction Wars, wave-based content. He's not going to be like a game changer for your account unless you cannot beat Bommel. That's the only place where I'd be like, you absolutely should hard push him if you can't do that. So Buren Geary, pretty solid. We're then going to like 3 basically drops of stuff. So second one here is 500 energy, 4 rank 4 chickens, some superior potions, and some brews. We've then got just some life artifacts. It's pretty trash, really. The fourth one here, 1 million silver, 500 energy, some multi-battles, and some XP boost. And then the last one here is Lockwayne. Now, Lockwayne is actually part of the mythical fusion. Yeah, so he's one of the epics here, which are in the mix. Actually, the last one I need to get this done. So it's definitely worth a pickup if you don't have him, right? Because eventually you're going to be working towards this. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, he's an okay champion, right? So he's in this faction for Faction Wars. There's not many damage dealers, and he does do some good damage on this A2. Hooks to a 3-turn cooldown. His kit outside of that is not the best. There's some buff stealing going on. He's got a decent hit on his A3. He's got some accuracy buffing going on, but outside of doing damage, he doesn't do a lot. But for this faction, if you're struggling for a damage dealer, then Lockwayne is actually pretty solid for that as well. So yeah, so let me know what you think of the Prime gaming stuff. I think it's good for the game, and I think if you can get hold of some of those rewards, yeah, for sure you should. The last thing I'm going to drop in, and this is only for new players, but there is a new promo code that's just popped up for Halloween. So if you're a new player, which basically means you need to be less than 72 hours into the game, there's this new promo code, It's Alive, and it looks like you pick up a miscreated monster who is pretty damn solid for a new player kind of carry. So not a bad one to pick up. I'd still rather pick up someone like Deacon, honestly, if Superpowers is still available. So I would check that first. It'll be on the website. If you go to hellhades.com, we always keep promo codes updated on here in the promo code section. And you can kind of take your pick around which of the new player ones you want to do. But there you go, guys. Bit of an update from me. Hopefully I'll be feeling back up to full speed in the next couple of days, and I'll be back on my usual content drops. But until then, I'll see you soon.